I would love a relationship that makes my life better than it is. I have no interest in being in a relationship to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. The truth is that, like, I'm a rare breed, so, like, there might not be a match that...
I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man. So I will not ask you to indict men in this question. But I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well.
All right, welcome back to another episode. This is Mike Perkins, aka Man Bun Mike, aka Michael B. Podden, aka Me So Corny, one half of MVP, one half of Opinions I Like Podcast, one half of Mike and Vince Perkins. And for this here, I am the whole show. You saw the video in the beginning, you saw the thumbnail, and you have been hearing the viral clip heard around the world of Miss Ebony K. Williams talking to Iyanla Vanzant about the lack of good men who make decent income lead that are available to her and other black women, such that they can rest in their femininity and straighten up their crown. The old trope, the old narrative from 1992. So let's get into it. Firstly, I played a clip in the beginning of a fellow post-wall black woman, black professional, black famous woman, Tracy Ellis Ross, and saying some of the same, expressing some of the same sentiments, just in a different way. Whereas she thinks that she's a rare breed. She is of the ilk and of the kind and caliber of woman that deserves a higher kind and caliber of man to make our life better. And as you can see, Miss Ebony K. Williams expressed the same sentiment, saying that she would only deal with a guy who drove a bus if he owned the bus. Okay, so now let's start with the first thing. I believe that 50 or 60 years of feminism has rotted their brains into thinking that you can qualify yourself for the kind and caliber of man that is a top 5 or 6% man by simply earning your way. And no time in the history of men has there ever been men picking women based on their ability to earn. Now, class is something that black community has no clue about, because our educated women will twerk on the stage. You know what I'm saying? Our women who are the wives of the business class and wives of the upper class men still will go on TV and fight each other. So there is no class in the black community, and I think it's more representative because the culture is really representative of our women and what they want. You know, that's why you see a lot of these things that are certainly anti-community, anti-family, anti-nuclear family, anti-kids that kind of exist in the Black community without there being any rebuttal or there being any other side that says, maybe that's not good for us. You know, maybe sexual liberation is not necessarily the best. Maybe twerking on TV and twerking on the internet is the best. Maybe professing that Black women are strong and independent and don't need no man while simultaneously complaining about the lack of good men that are available to you is certainly not good. You know, nobody said, there's no counter argument in the zeitgeist, so in the atmosphere. It's just women say something and then it's true because they're pulling the I'm a Black woman and I say so. But anyway, both women suffer from the rotting of the brains of just women overall, but Black women in particular, with this feminism or this feminist ideology. And mostly is rotting their brains because they think that they can do men's stuff or be qualified for the kind of men, the kind of caliber of men that they want by just simply duplicating what those men do. And in no way, shape, or form has a man ever picked a woman based on her finances. That doesn't happen. We don't pick women based on traits that mirror us. We pick women based on traits that supplement the ones that maybe we don't have, one, but are certainly helpful with the ones that we already have. And what women have done over the years they have said this so often that it's just become true. To where you have women who, and frankly, I don't think either of these women even understand what they're saying or doing. You know, I think it's getting to a point where they're just saying shit and just doing shit. And I think spirituality is another thing which has women, just has a chokehold on women. You know, spirituality is such that women can just do anything and it's right based on their need to do it. You know, so that putting men down, putting a bus driver down, you know, men down. And look, if you're a man that drives a bus and let's say you make $50,000, just as a sidebar, don't stay at $50,000. Try to make 60. If you're a man at 60, try to make 70. If you're a man at 70, try to make 80. You know, don't stay at where you're at. Try to always improve. You know, the problem a lot of times is that with women, they don't understand that the average man just makes more than the average woman. So that when you make claims that men aren't making enough money, you have to understand that a financially successful woman and a financially successful man don't serve the same purpose, one. And two, since men don't pick 1-to-1, I'm over $100,000 and you're over $100,000, so let's be together. Since men don't actually pick that way, and that sometimes what happens is that a man who makes over $100,000 can pick a school teacher or a secretary. You know what I mean? Because she fits the criteria that he wants, i.e. she didn't work on things that men didn't care about at the expense of the things that men do care about. So that wouldn't allow for a woman like Ebony K. Williams or Tracee Ellis Ross to get the man that they say they want because they didn't work on the things that men actually give a fuck about. So, for example, with Ebony K. Williams and Tracee Ellis Ross, I would say they're attractive women. We've seen Tracee Ellis Ross kind of be on TV for a while. So she's been an attractive woman for a very long time. How are you that attractive and do you have no suitors? How? It's because, and men know this to be fact, it's because you're insufferable and intolerable. You don't qualify for the kind and caliber of man that you want. Granted, you want them. And I'm never going to tell a woman to want something different. If you want that, want it. Want it until you blue in the face. But if you have no clue as to how to get it, then it's kind of a lesson of futility. And you wait and wait and wait and wait too late. And you blame and blame and blame black men for not picking you. Never stopping to think, maybe I don't qualify for the kind and caliber of man that I say I want. If you don't qualify for them, not the worst thing in the world. Hey man, I wanted Chloe Bailey yesterday. I DM'd her and she just didn't respond. Sad. It sucks. Sucks to be me sometimes. But because Chloe Bailey didn't want me, that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with Chloe Bailey. It just means that maybe I don't qualify for her. Just like the bus driver doesn't qualify for you, Miss Ebony K. Williams. At almost 40 years old, you're still having the 1992 argument about men being poor, broke, and everything. And we've already, in the manosphere as well as other platforms and other areas of entertainment and podcasting, we've already established that men on average, black men specifically, make more than their women on average. We just do. We have less debt, more wealth, and more income. If you can't find a man that makes just as much or more than you, it's because you don't qualify for them. You just don't. Fight it until you blue in the face. And another thing, and I'm gonna roll this to the end, I'm gonna land the plane. You see the title, Good Things Come to Those Who Wait Until They're 45. Man, the reason that women married early, because there was a specific thing that the woman gave to the man that was of value to him. There's a thing that your grandmother gave to your granddad that was of value to him. And it was her childbearing years. See, if I'm not getting a kid out of you and you want me to provide and protect, that's fine. But what you want to also do is be able to stay home. You want to be able to be not responsible for any of the things going on in the house. You want to stay home because somehow at 40 years old, you're traditional. You can't be traditional at 40. Staying home was exclusively functionally for raising kids. It was never about staying home in a lap of leisure. So that the man that you want, you just may not qualify for because you're not giving him any kids. Granted, I know she done froze some eggs, put them to the side. But ma'am, your body still has to be functionally ready to carry to term. And that's still up in the air because you are almost 40. And look, there may be a man out there that says, you know what, I'm going to take you off the market. I'm going to make an honest woman of you. But you've already got divorced. That's one. And then already had a man and left him because he wanted to be with his kids during COVID. And you should come first. Do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. The thing that men got from women that was of value is their childbearing years. Now, if you can't execute giving a man your childbearing years while also becoming a lawyer, a doctor, a business owner, or whatever, then what you need to understand is that you need to pick one. You need to pick one. If you can't do them both at the same time, then you need to pick one. This conversation is getting to the point of it's getting ridiculous. 40-year-old women asking for provisions and protection whilst they're already telling you they don't need a man, they can do it by themselves. And look, this is not a woman who has had a man leave her with kids. She hasn't had to be the provider for herself because provisions are not reserved for individuals. They're not even reserved for broken families. Provisions are reserved for intact nuclear families, man, woman, and child. If you don't have that, you're not providing, you're paying bills and not getting evicted. Congratulations, you're an adult. And enough of what we see with our women specifically is that you're willing to go on the internet and literally throw us under the bus. When all else fails, blame black men. You can't find a man? Blame black men. Ain't no black men around you that want you? Blame black men. That's gonna be my time, man. Y'all be good. If you could keep supporting me, commenting, and, so on and so forth. I would appreciate it. You've all been very, very gracious to me, even though I've been a lazy content creator, you know what I'm saying? But I certainly appreciate y'all, just keep showing me love, and I'll keep trying to kick these out. You know what I mean? That's me, my time, Mike Perkins. I am out.